Well, in this resource, I'm interested to take a couple of minutes to share with you something that is truly a game changer in preparing learning objectives. We are going to see how the ABCD approach will not only meet the SMART criteria of a learning objective, but also make the process better, effortless, and more effective. Though for this demonstration we'll use school context, however, the approach caters every and ever of instructions, it being the campaign, online contents, instructional design. The approach is useful anywhere instructions are prepared to be delivered for learning. So, if you are interested, let's learn it. Well, for those who are teachers, certainly we have been taught in colleges about the 5 features of a SMART learning objective, which include specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. You can agree with me that in practice, composing an objective that resonates well to those features has yet stood a challenge to most of us. I have observed this over some years of my teaching experience. In this resource, I'm interested to afresh with you and to a more improved and a clear approach of writing learning objectives. Maybe you will say, oh, I already know this. Well, that's a good to notice. However, in my opinion, embracing agent's character is as essential as things do change. I recommend you to keep an open mind of learning. Well, I mean, it is less about where you learned about objectives or from whom, but more about continuously embracing new perspectives that really transform your efficiency. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the ABCD approach. If it is your first time to hear about the ABCD approach and you are wondering where this approach originates from, it was initiated by Robert Heinrich along with his colleagues, and it is published in their textbook, Instructional Technology and Media for Learning. It is a very helpful way of preparing learning objectives today. In this approach, A is audience, implying featured learners you target, for instance, Form 1 students, Standard 4 pupils, first year course XY students, and so forth. B is behavior, denoting observable actions a learner to develop and exhibit, and they are written in action verbs, for instance, write, state, mention, describe, calculate, compose, and so forth. C is condition, implying place, pace, and the materials by which to develop and exhibit behavior. For instance, classroom, laboratory, farm imply a place. By the end of this lesson, all 40 or 80 minutes imply pace or time. Ruler, beaker, a book, flip chart, globe are the materials. And the D is the degree, implying measure of performance of behavior. For instance, 3 out of 5 points, 32 out of 45 students, 50% accurately, precisely, and so forth. Note that this degree does not necessarily need to be 100%. Nevertheless, you have to decide a reasonable level that, upon administering a chosen tool of assessment, the feedback so provided will inform whether the intended learning outcome is achieved to your learners or not. Let's put this into action in school context. Consider a Class 1 secondary school teacher's scheme of work for a civics subject which details learning about national symbols. With the aid of ABCD approach, I can prepare a learning objective as: by the end of this lesson, Form 1 students should be able to mention at least 4 national symbols by observing a picture of the coat of arms and the currencies. Break it down into the ABCD elements. We have audience, behavior, condition, and degree. Here are 2 more demonstrations, one picturing Form 4 students drawing a grasshopper in biology, and another about Standard 4 pupils mastering fractions in mathematics, along with their ABCD elements. That's how you can use the ABCD to prepare your learning objectives. As you have seen in those examples, the elements of an objective don't necessarily need to be in the order of A, B, C, D. Well, don't let the process overwhelm you, right? Be as flexible as you know what you're doing, and let the process flow naturally as you prepare your learning objective. Above all, remember to contextualize the elements to your expertise, your teaching style, and the nature of students and the teaching learning materials that are handy at your exposure. There you are, you have been with me, Mwalimu Bukuku, and have a nice moment. Meet you in the next sessions. Bye bye.